Hello, my name is George Lopez, and this is my presentation on my ethical case study. So, for the context of this case study, I was an actual Wingstop manager at the time, so I did deal with this situation. Eric got reported by two employees at the time, Haley and Alicia, who were good friends at the time and underage, for sexually harassing them in person and over text. Haley also claims that she was sexually assaulted. Digital evidence was provided to support each of these claims, so we investigated. A week into the investigation, Haley had slept with Alicia's brother, causing a massive rift between the two and unbearable tension at work. This created a huge problem for me and management to solve. So, the primary stakeholders in this situation are Eric. He is the main antagonist in the situation because he committed the sexual assault and the sexual harassment. He was also a manager in training at the time, so this is a big no-no. Haley is another one of the primary stakeholders. She is the victim of the sexual assault and one of the victims of the sexual harassment. However, she slept with Alicia's brother and created even more tension and problems for this. And Alicia is one of the final stakeholders. She was a victim of the sexual harassment and she lost her best friend and trust in Haley. Some additional crucial information for this case study is that Haley is a troublemaker at the store. She has a personality that most already don't like, and she already has 2 write-ups. 3 write-ups is a automatic termination at Wingstop, so she was already seen to be on her way out. She also bragged about having a promiscuous past with many men, so she does look like she has the ability to consent. For Eric, he is a manager in training, like I said previously, for a location who is already short-staffed and has no other suitable candidates for promotion. Eric, Haley, and another coworker named Maria went to a bar, concert, and hotel room together. Maria claims that the sex was consensual between the two, so claiming that she was sexually assaulted is a bit hard. And upper management does not allow managers and employees to date. Those who are can either transfer or are immediately terminated. Some of the legal issues that we see in this case study are the sexual acts between Haley and Eric, which are illegal in the state of Arizona because Haley is a minor. We also see that Haley is snuck into a bar while she is underage, which is also illegal. And the relationships between managers and employees are not allowed if they work at the same store. Obviously, this isn't a US law, but this is a rule for Wingstop, and this obviously goes against the rules. The primary ethical dilemma in this situation is whether or not Haley has the ability to consent to this or not. Most people in the US believe that anyone under the age of 18 should not be in a relationship with an adult. However, the line of maturity of whether or not someone is able to consent can be a bit blurry. According to Travel Safe Abroad, only 44 countries have the age of consent at 18 years or older. Every other country either requires a lower age or requires marriage. So in this situation, obviously people have their opinions on whether or not someone under the age of 18 can consent or not. So the list of possible actions me and management came up with was to either first fire Eric for inappropriate conduct with a coworker, both Haley and Alicia, and report the incident to the police, and to turn in all the information we have gathered during this process. This action gets rid of the problems that Eric created and releases some of the tension that is inside of the workplace. However, Haley did add onto the tension by sleeping with Alicia's brother, so the problem is not completely solved. This also takes away Haley's freedom to press charges or not. It should be up to her. Their second choice was to fire Eric for inappropriate conduct with a coworker and to leave it up to Haley to file a police report. This, as the first option does as well, gets rid of the problems that Eric had created and also does release some of the tension. This also does give Haley the freedom to decide whether she would like to press charges or not. However, this still leaves Haley in the store with the tension that she has created with Alicia, which can make every one of our other coworkers unhappy, and we are already understaffed, so we do not need that. Our third option is to fire both Eric and Haley for inappropriate conduct with coworkers. This solves a problem that both of them created. The tension is a lot less in the store because two of the biggest troublemakers are now gone. However, like I said before, we are understaffed, so this can create some additional stress onto some of our coworkers because they would have to work even harder. And our final decision is to keep both of the company and allow them to settle their differences. This option does keep us staffed. However, the likelihood that this pans out is very unlikely due to the severity of these circumstances. So the tension can be created even higher, and other employees can feel a lot more stressed out and feel the tension during their shifts, which we do not need. The final decision that management came up with was to fire both Eric and Haley and allowing for Haley to press charges outside of work as she would like to. This gets rid of the problems that both caused. Eric with the sexual harassment and the sexual assault, and Haley with sleeping with Alicia's brother and creating even more tension into the store. This also allows for qualified professionals to handle any legal matters if Haley chooses to press charges. It also gives Haley the power to press charges if she truly does feel violated. The only downside to this is that we are understaffed, and getting rid of 2 employees can be a big knock. However, I believe that the employees would perform much better because of the relieved stress and tension now that they are both fired. My personal philosophy for making this decision was my brand of ethics. My brand of ethics I consider to be a rights and common good brand of ethics. This is defined as protecting the rights and morals of those around me. I believe in this situation, the decision I made completely did that. The serious matters also should be attended to by professionals, not just the company of employment. In this situation, I do not believe that Wingstop was fully equipped for handling the situation. I also do believe that corporations can be prone to creating cover-ups in order to save the company image. This is because in a situation like this, if any of it were to be get out, negative press can surround Wingstop, which can affect future employment, it can affect sales, and it can affect reputation. So obviously, with that in mind, this led me to the decision that I did end up making. To conclude this presentation, I believe that this situation is best solved by firing both Eric and Haley and allowing them to pursue a criminal investigation if they would like to. Eric's actions are completely unacceptable to Wingstop and to U.S. laws, so firing him is an absolute no-brainer. Haley, however, with her considering her past of creating trouble in the store, along with sleeping with Alicia's brother, there is no reason not to fire her. This is the best decision that I could have made in this situation, and I'm happy with what I did. And here are my references for this presentation.